All right, appraisers, this is Brandon with Choice Valuation again, and in this video we're going to be covering how to complete the one-time setup for the MLSPIN or Pinergy system. So for those of you that use that MLS, this video is for you. The instructions are going to be down below, but in case it's easier for you to just follow along as I do it, that's what this is here for. There are several steps to it, but it's pretty quick and easy, so just follow along and you should be good to go. If you have any issues at all, just make sure and click that contact us button and give us a call or shoot us an email and we're happy to help out. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, I'm in the Pinergy system and all I did was I clicked search. And when I click search, you just want to choose single family and then choose back on market. And I know that's going to sound weird, but this is just for the initial setup. So once we finish this here completely, then you'll never have to set this up again. So just follow along as I do it. And even though it sounds weird, just trust me, it'll work. So you click single family, choose back on market, and then click search now up in the top left. And every time I'm going to say click your mouse, it's going to be left click. We're not ever going to be using the right click button. Okay, so now click this top left checkbox, which is to select all the listings, and then click download. Now here is where we're going to actually move over the fields so that Spark is able to read all of the data from this MLS. So the first thing we'll do is we left click the very top field and then scroll down all the way on this left column until we get to the bottom. And then on your keyboard, hold down the shift key. It doesn't matter which one you hold down, just hold down one of them. And then again, left click the very bottom field. And you should see everything highlighted in blue. So now everything's highlighted in blue. And then all you do is click this right arrow, which will move everything from here on the left over to the right. Okay, so now everything's over there. And now the last thing we need to do here is where it says save as type, be sure that this is selected as CSV. If it's not a CSV, it will not work. And then also be sure that include header row is chosen as yes. And then you hit continue. Okay, so just to reiterate or to say that one more time, you choose all the fields here, you hit the arrow to move them all over, make sure it says CSV, and make sure it says yes, and then you hit continue. And then you'll see a file download. It depends on your browser how that's going to look, but you'll see a file download pop up, and you can just cancel that. You don't need to keep that for any reason. This is just for the setup. And now we can close this window. And now what I'm going to do is go back into my search criteria. So I'm going to click Edit Search, and we're basically going to repeat this process for condo, multifamily, and rental. So let me just show you here. So I'm going to click on condo, make sure I have back on market selected, hit Search now, click the top left box to select everything, click Download, and then in this screen, make sure it says CSV and yes, and then you want to click the very top field, scroll all the way down, hold down your shift key, then left click. And by the way, once you have it left clicked where you everything's highlighted in blue, you can stop holding down the shift key. I should have said that before. Once everything's highlighted in blue, you don't need to hold down the shift key anymore. Then you just click right here where it says move over to the right. Now we've moved over all the condo fields as well. So you can see we have the single family fields, and if all the way at the bottom, we also have the condo fields. Then you hit continue, and basically hitting continue is what tells Pinergy to save it. So now it's saved. So now I can close that, and now we'll repeat the process. So I'm going to click Edit Search, and we're going to repeat that for multifamily. Do the same thing, hit Search now, select everything, hit Download. All right, now you verify again that it says CSV and yes, which it now should say every time. You should never have to worry about that again. And then you, whoops, sorry, I went too fast there. You left click the top field, scroll down, hold down your shift key, click the bottom field, everything's highlighted. Now you can let go of your shift key. You click the arrow to move everything over. And now if we scroll down, we can see the multi-fields are there, or the multifamily fields are there. Hit continue to save it, and it's saved. Now we can close that. All right, now I'm going to edit one last time, and we're going to do rentals. And then we hit search now, select all the properties, hit download, click the top field, Scroll to the bottom, hold down Shift, click there, let go of Shift, and move everything over. And if that works right, I should have my rentals down here, and I do. And then you just hit continue. And it is now saved. So now you're completely done. The setup for Pinergy is totally done. There's nothing else you need to do. So we can just close this window. We don't need this search anymore. In fact, what you would do now, I'll just go ahead and show you. So in order to actually use the data, what you do is you go and you do a search for your comps. And by the way, this works for map searches too. So here, let's just show you. I'm going to click map search. And now I don't know your area at all, so I'm just going to make something up here. Just going to draw this little box here. Oh, we only got one property. Let's delete that. And let's try again. So I'm going to draw something a little bit bigger. Okay, so we got a couple properties, not a big deal, but you get the idea. You do your search however you want to get the properties you need. You choose whatever parameters you want. And then, so with map search, it's a little bit different than a regular search. So back in the regular search, here, let's just do a regular one at the same time. So if I do a regular search, now, normally you're going to have sold selected in all these, but I'm just going to choose back on market so I don't get this huge number of properties because I don't know how to search well in your area. So I'm just going to choose that. But you choose the search where you're going to actually be able to get properties where you can choose comps. And then you select the ones that you want to use in your grid, that you want Spark to load into your grid. And then you hit download, just like we did before during the setup. And now basically all you do is you hit continue. And now we have those properties. However many I selected, we've got those, what is that, 6 properties in here. And so now we can go ahead and continue. And basically, and just to show you on a map search how it works, on the map search, the only difference is in order to get to the view where you can actually download properties, you have to click this button right here that says view. So I click view. Oh, whoops, I got to select some properties first. So I select my properties. Sorry about that. So you choose the ones you want, and then you hit view. And then Pinergy will bring up this window here. You got the properties, you can select them, and you can download them, just like I showed you before. You hit download, and then all you do is you hit continue. And then there's your file with your properties in it. Okay, so now let's go ahead and close this, and let's bring up Spark so I can at least show you how you're actually going to get data into Spark. So I'm going to go here. Oh, whoops, sorry about that. I'm going to actually bring up Spark. So this is Spark, and then I'm on the screen where you go and actually load in your comps. So I'm going to do that now. And if you remember, I have this file here with the properties I had selected. And all you need to do actually is take this file that's down here in the bottom left. And of course, this only applies to Chrome. Chrome puts the files down here in the bottom left. If you have Firefox, it puts them up at the top right. If you have Internet Explorer Edge, it just puts them in your downloads folder. And so you can just open that up. And basically, you can just drag and drop these files right over to where it says upload under add comparables. And now Spark is translating that data. And it's successfully got the public records data as well as the MLS information, so I can hit next. And there's actually one other thing I wanted to show you. I know this video is getting long, but it's important for those of you, especially in this MLS system. So I'm going to go ahead and load in more comps. And to do that, by the way, once you're on this screen, if you want to load in more, you just click this green plus button above where it says sales grid, and you can load in more comps for your sales grid. I'm going to click upload. Now I'm going to choose a file that has 15 more comps in it just to show you something. And you can see that in this example, I have 2 properties that Spark is not able to get the public records from. So you can see the orange triangle right here letting you know Spark is not able to get the public records. And usually that's because of something that has to do with either the agent typing in the address wrong, maybe they forgot the unit number, whatever it is. So what you do is you can click the triangle. And in this case, let me just show you that one more time. So on this one, I click the triangle. And in this case, with this comp 7, there's these potential properties that it could be. And so Spark displays them all to you and lets you choose which one is the actual correct one. So I'm just going to choose this and then hit done. So now that one's good. And then this last one, I click the triangle, and this one says more than 10 properties were found with that tax with that address or tax ID. So what happened is Spark is not able to get it. Most likely it needs a unit number on the end. So at that point, what you can do is just come over here and make sure you can choose address or parcel number. In this case, it looks like the agent didn't type in the parcel ID, but I'm going to choose address, and you can maybe try and type in a unit number. Maybe that was the problem. Then you hit get data, and let's see what happens. Still not able to find it. And so essentially you correct the address. If you can't get it to actually show up, that's okay. It doesn't matter. You don't need this information. Basically, the MLS data is all there. All that you're missing is the public records data. And so we can go ahead and hit done if we can't get Spark to find the public records for it. You hit done. And so it still is able to load all the information in. It's just for that one property, it wasn't able to grab public records. And let me show you now. So now we have a whole bunch of comps, and you can see which one doesn't have the public records, because right here on comp 19, it says no PR. So no public records were available for this property. And that's basically it. All right. If you guys have any questions as you get into it, feel free to give us a call or shoot us an email. We're happy to help. And thanks for watching.